An unbelievable journey for the Michigan Wolverines here in D.C., one that Hollywood would probably reject because it simply would not be believable for the viewers. But it is very real as John Beilein and the Wolverines celebrate the 27th Big Ten Tournament Championship. John, through your career, you went on a big run with West Virginia. You took this program to the Final Four, but how does this compare? Everything that went into this week, What was this ride like for you?
Well, when I just spoke with the team in the locker room, we kicked the media out and we just said, I'm just telling you, there's been a lot of teams that have coached. I can never recall anything that was not only like this, but coaching a team that was 100% on board. And that, Bo Schembechler's thing was sudden change, embrace sudden change. And so we had some sudden change this week. And I said, you're remarkable for what you're able to accomplish. And I want you to remember that. You were persistent. You didn't give up. What can be accomplished in your life if you have this attitude in everything you approach?
John, but you guys didn't really start playing this way this weekend.
No.
You started that early February. Why did they start to buy in, and what changes did you guys make to get it there?
We weren't far away, and we kept selling that. The old 212 boils. We were like at 211 degrees a lot, and some days it would be there. I just think the Ohio State game at our place, where they beat us in a home game that we probably had to win, it was just, I think it really hit us hard that, you know what, we all have another level here. And we just have really good kids. You can see that. You talk to them. But sometimes those guys don't play angry sometimes. They don't play as intense as you need to play. And that had to step up. They weren't like playing poorly. They just weren't given enough in some areas. And that intensity ratcheted up and bought in defense, and we just changed.
You faced some adversity this week, but go back a couple weeks. You had Northwestern in Evanston, a miraculous play to beat you. Talk about how your team kind of regrouped and recovered from that, because that could have been a very difficult thing, a gut punch there. Yeah,
we have two places that are really hard to win, and it's at Northwestern and at Nebraska. And so, we have the ball going, could win the game at Northwestern. We don't make the shot, and then with 1.7, you're not thinking anything like that's going to happen. Just a miraculous play by Chris, by Taphorn, right through the pass. Incredible. And all of a sudden, our kids treated it. We had the day off. Treated it. They hit them hard. I didn't know how they'd react in Nebraska, and then we went in Nebraska. Just couldn't have played better basketball during that time. So we've been playing. The thing that kept me believing, we got a really good Indiana team come in. We had a really good Michigan State come in, and we really played well in those games. So we got it in us. How can we get it more? How can we have this sense of urgency more? If you have good kids, they'll gradually get it. You just didn't want it to be next year.
And now, John, you move on to the NCAA tournament where you will face Oklahoma State as a matchup with two of the top 10 offenses in the country. So we expect a lot of points. I guess the blessing in disguise here is that it's a Friday game because, as you said, if you had to play noon on Thursday, that turnaround would have been nearly impossible.
That would have been hard because we go back to Sunday night playing all the way to Sunday, 5 games in 8 days. And so, it is big. It's going to help us be more prepared. I don't know if Oklahoma State. I don't know much about the Big 12. I do know that they're really been aggressive. They got a good team. I think they were in our in the regional. They weren't in the regional. I just know we're going to be in for a battle when they come out. They really guard you and they really score some points.
But, John, this ride that you took us on and everybody that watched you guys this week was absolutely unreal. Congratulations on the championship and best of luck in the NCAA.
Thanks for the great coverage. It was wonderful.
John Beilein and the Michigan Wolverines, champions of the 2017 Big Ten Tournament.